Hi, everyone. My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks,
And hello, I'm Sweet Baby James, otherwise known as James Maynard.
and tonight I'm going to talk about, are you scared about climate change? I am.
Me too.
So I hope that you join us tonight, and let's talk about this, because I don't want to be scared all by myself. But before we do, I'm turning this over to Sweet Baby James to introduce our show.
Welcome to Granny Rocks Our World, where she rocks us with her wit, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense every Monday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So stay with us. And now over to you, Granny.
Thank you, James. Well, first of all, I want to say that Elizabeth said hello. Hello,
Hello,
Elizabeth.
hello.
And Luann waved, and we are waving back. So happy to see both of you. Well, I think Europe must be scared about climate change, or you wouldn't be joining us tonight. So I'm going to be winging it because this thought about this is what I should talk about just came to me. And it's something that bubbles in me all the time. Now, there was a time when farmers worried about the weather. I mean, we would worry about the weather as, oh, should I wear the pink patent leather shoes? Or, is it going to rain? Jamie says, good evening to you both. Oh, nice
Hi,
to see you, Jamie. So, what shoes should I wear? Should I wear my raincoat? What should I do? What's the temperature going to be? Do you have air conditioning? All this kind of stuff. And, we've always been annoyed by weather, but I mean, threatened by weather is a different thing. And as I say, farmers have always had to really look at the weather because their livelihoods depended on them. But now everybody's survival depends on the weather. And yet so many people are still acting like this is not the biggest crisis on the planet. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But I want to say that I worry about the weather, and I want to tell you that I worry about it every single day. Now, why do I worry about it every single day?
Why?
Well, because it's so unpredictable. It's a beautiful day today. Helen says, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Helen. It's a beautiful day today. And I'm immediately thinking, yeah, but what about next week, next month? What's it going to be like this year? Last winter was horrible up here in the Pacific Northwest. Helen said, I grew up with farmers worrying about the weather. Exactly. You know what that worry is like, well, but we've all got it now, or we should. And I think we do, because I think that's the whole issue, is we are all so worried about the weather. So we had a terrible winter last year. We had so much snow, so much cold, down power lines, loss of the internet, down trees. It took us 6 months or more to clean up from last winter. And I'm old. I know you wouldn't know it, but I really am old. And Tracy says, I was worried too. Thank you, Tracy. And I was like, oh my God, could I live through? I don't even know if I can live through another winter like this one. And now this summer was delightful, but last summer and the year before, forest fires. I mean, we couldn't breathe.
Wildfires all over the place.
Yes, we had.
Like what was happening in California right now.
Yes, Helen just said it's constantly on my mind. So good to hear. Not that it's good to hear, but it's good that we are saying this to each other. And I worry terribly because we had hazardous air up here in Oregon. The last couple of summers, not this one. So it's like, oh, you have a beautiful day. So instead of enjoying it, I'm thinking, oh my God, how long is this going to last? What's it going to be like next week? And then, then everywhere, I mean, tornadoes, there's floods, there's rising seawater, and the farmers and the droughts or floods. And now, right now, because this isn't exactly climate change, but I want to mention this anyway. Delhi is India is so full of pollution that people are walking around, can't go out. And it goes on and on and on, and it's all because of our activities, right? I mean, it's one thing to have weather, and it's the other to have climate change, which is driven by our behavior. And if it's on my mind, and if it's on Helen's mind, and it's on James' mind, and it's on Tracy's mind, and I bet it's on the minds of many of the others who are watching this program.
Do you want to tell
right
us the
now.
difference between climate change and weather?
Well, climate change is the overall state of the climate. Is like the fact of global warming, which has raised the temperature.
Yeah.
And then the weather is the particular manifestation that shows up at any given moment. Like, oh, it shows up as tornadoes and then, I feel sorry for the people in California. And what about the people who are worrying about running out of water? We live in Oregon, and I worry about running out of water because we've had drought. This year, not yet, but, I'm just waiting, right? And Rick says, hello, family. Oh, how nice to hear that, Rick. I'm so glad you consider us family. Eileen said, I'm very concerned. We are not taking care of our Earth home. We aren't. Lori says, it's on my mind. Now, if it's on all of our minds and so many other people, why isn't it the number one item that we're talking about in 2019? That's what I want to know. And yes, do I sound like a crazy lady tonight? I do, because I feel crazy. It's like, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with people?
I can tell you one thing. People who are called upon to make changes in light of the climate changes and global warming in businesses don't want to cut their short-term profits by expending more monies to have things work better on a climate basis.
Even on the long run, they're going to be screwed.
Yeah.
Lori says, we don't have long to save our home. You are so right. You are so right.
Yeah, climate scientists are telling us time is running out.
In
a few years, we will reach the point of no return.
That's right.
At the rate we're going.
And yet, doo-dah, doo-dah, doo-dah. Oh, my God, my robe is wet. Can I show up tonight with a wet spot on my robe?
Like that's the most important issue.
Most important issue of the day. I said, yes, I'm showing up with a wet spot on my robe. It's about greed, Jamie says. You are so right. It's about greed. It's about greed on this. In fact, oh my God, you're going to be horrified. I just read that the European Union oligarchs are grabbing the money that is being supposed to be given to the farmers to help the family farm. It's going to the oligarchs in Eastern Europe.
Wow.
It's like it makes me sick. When is it not about greed? Whether it's the price of drugs or, every time you turn around, somebody is ripping you off and doing it legally, right? But what I want to talk about is not so much the fact that greed is driving this, although I totally agree. Greed and stupidity, short-sightedness, because like the insurance companies are saying, well, I don't know. I don't know. It was hard enough to get fire insurance in California years ago when I lived there. Now, can you imagine what's happening to all these people? And then their utilities have to shut the power off and people are struggling. Old people can't survive without power. Young people are looking forward to no future. And the rest of us in the middle are responsible for all of this. Actually, I'm one of the old ones, so I don't get to be in the middle. But anyway, let's go. Vino says, good. Yes. Thank you, Vino.
Thank you,
so
Vino.
good to see you. So the point is, we are not getting out in the streets about climate change. Yes, some young people did it. People are getting out in the streets. I'm seeing it. It's fantastic. People around the world are in the streets. Well, I want to be in the streets. I want to see us in the streets. I want to see us loud and clear. We cannot afford little solutions. Oh my. They've even taken away the plastic recycling for most of us. And a lot of that plastic recycling was a fraud. They were just dumping the plastic someplace else. Weren't even
like
doing
China.
anything about it. And before I get into being in the streets and really confronting our politicians, every one of us, Republican, we've got to get over this nonsense about Republicans and Democrats. I say one more thing before I get into that, which is it isn't just that. Lori said, our White House doesn't believe in science. It's true. Well, no, our White House believes in money. That's it. It doesn't matter whether they actually do or do not believe in science. They only believe in money, short-term greed, as you were talking about. But it's not just our White House. I mean, we didn't get here since Donald Trump came into office, but he's certainly taking us in the wrong direction. Today, they made a formal announcement to the UN that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. Then we are going like into, the lemmings You know,
over the cliff.
Lemmings go over the cliff. They follow their leaders over the cliff. That's us. We're following our leaders over the cliff, and that's what we're doing. And it isn't just climate change per se. It's the whole environment. It's environmental pollution. It's pesticides. They've discovered that all that Roundup was killing people, that GMO foods that were made to be resistant to Roundup then have Roundup on them. And now we're taking them in, or there's lead or copper in the pipes. We're poisoning ourselves. We're causing more and more dementia. We are causing more and more cancer, and we're doing all of this. And we keep acting as though, oh, well, oh, well. Now, I am not happy about this whole thing with the Ukraine and Donald Trump trying to get dirt on the Democrats. But if we were going to impeach a president, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about the climate. It should be a whole mentality, a whole class of politicians. They should all be impeached for not dealing with climate change. Now, where is our anger? Where are our guts? I want to say to our friends who are Trump supporters, I don't care if you love the guy, you worship his ass. If you think that he's God's gift because he's bringing Armageddon down on us faster than anybody, and I don't care whether you think it's fabulous that he wants to build a wall. The biggest problem we have is the threat to our existence, which is posed by climate change. So if you love the guy, you have a double responsibility to go out there and start campaigning in the Republican Party to throw out the bums who aren't going to deal with climate change. Now, I don't want to hear any more nonsense about, well, it's not proved, and of course it's proved, and it's not only proved, it's obvious. It's obvious to everybody. I don't want to be squabbling about process and procedure and this one is a bad guy and this one is a good. I want every one of us to start yapping about climate change. And how about tomorrow we all go into our lives and ask other people, are you scared about climate change? I am. That's people to people, human to human. You're an independent, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. If you are still claiming there is no climate change, you're seriously delusional. And if you don't see that it is being caused by humans, you're even more delusional. Island said, I really appreciate your outlook and your insight into this. Oh, I'm so glad you're saying that because I think I just sound like a mad woman.
Well, you're mad and you're angry,
I am distressed.
Yeah.
I am worried. I want to see change big time. I don't want to see another Democratic debate where the central topic is not climate change. It's not that I don't think healthcare is right up there, but, Americans pride ourselves on coming together in an emergency, right? Oh, the barn, so-and-so's barn burned down. Let's all get together and build them another barn, right? Or, oh my God, there's been floods or there's been a hurricane. Let's all help each other, right? Isn't that what we tell ourselves we are? Isn't that who we are? We are like, those kind of people who get together. Well, right now, not only is the barn burning, but the land around the barn and the trees and the house and everything else is burning. We should stop letting the partisan divide get in the way of our coming together to demand action because we cannot personally solve the problem of climate change. It takes more than our individual efforts. Give me an option. I'd rather have a green option than a brown option, right?
Mm-hmm.
brown like an oil option. But if I don't have that option, what am I going to do? Am I going to walk to work 20 miles? I'm not young enough for that, right? Well, I don't have to walk to work. I do. I walk from the bedroom into my office. That's my work. But I have to go over the internet. But do you understand what I'm saying? Where is our ethic of in a crisis we come together? You would think there was no crisis. You know, evangelicals, what are you thinking? Didn't God give us dominion over the earth for us to take care of? I don't care who you are. Todd says, Granny, you rock.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. And so do you. So how about I can't come up with an answer? You know, everybody expects Granny to come up with an answer. Oh, yes. Well, what we should do is, we look within. But I know that what we should look within at is, what's it going to take for us to start talking? What's it going to take for us to start ignoring? Oh, Juma says, good morning. Good morning, honey. It's morning in India. What's it going to take for us to open our mouths and start talking about climate change everywhere, every day? Write letters to the editor, go into town halls and say, we are not going to be shut up. We demand action around climate change. It can be done. You know, if we were able to mobilize the resources to put a human being on the moon, are you telling me that we can't figure this out? I just read recently that we already have the technology that we could, with the, I think it's the carbon sequestration. I'm not sure exactly, but, Granny doesn't have a memory. That went. That's probably because of all the toxins that I've taken in my lifetime. Anyway, so, we have a couple of years. If we do this and this and this and this, we may survive long enough so that we can do this and this and this and this. Why don't we start looking for allies? Why don't we start coming together? Why don't we start realizing that our polarization is going to destroy all of us? No more excuses. Today's the day. This is November 4th, 2019. Start tonight. Start tomorrow. Start talking to people. Start talking to everybody. Tell your representative of whatever party, if you don't start addressing climate change, we're impeaching you. I think that it's all I have to say about that topic tonight. There'll be more. If anyone likes to share something else, I'd like to remind you that I will be back. Sweet Baby James and I will be back on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I would love to hear what has happened in your thinking, or at least in your feelings. See, we can always start with the first thing is, how do I feel about this? And what is stopping me from speaking up and doing what I can? Can I do this much? Well, then I'm going to do it. It's not, and this much isn't just that, I'm going to drive an electric car. It's about connecting to other people, not only here, but around the world, who are suffering from pollution, the degradation of our rivers, our food and our water, the degradation of the air that comes when you have all these fires. But I can't believe that we are attacking people in California at a moment like this, or any place. There's no time for that anymore. So ask yourself, what's holding me back? What can I do to start speaking and to start mobilizing and to start just talking to the person next to me on the line at the grocery store? Because I'm going to ask you something. Oh, first I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to ask you something, then I'm going to close. Okay, I want to remind you that on Thursday nights I play the piano, and it's called Dreams of Peace. That's because I'm playing the piano, so I'm dreaming of peace. But we've got to we got to have a world to be dreaming of peace in. Oh,
we do want to. That helps lower the stress.
Oh yes, please come. I mean, I play for you, from my soul to your soul. We have some wonderful fans who come and listen all the time and share the music. We need to be calm inside, but we need to be determined. We need to be strong, and we need to be loud on the outside. When I say loud, I don't necessarily mean yelling. I mean out loud, speaking everywhere. Because if we don't, we know what the result is going to be. The barn is burning. What are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Let's stop with the trivia. Oh, I don't mean that that healthcare is trivial or any of these issues are trivial. I'm not saying that, but there's too much trivia between us. Oh, I'm defending. I'm attacking. What did he say today? I don't care what he said today. If we don't do this, there'll only be one way out. And that's death. And don't think I don't think about that. It's like, oh my God, well, it gets really bad. I'm old. I'll kill myself. Don't tell me none of you has ever had that thought. Like, oh my God, if we run out of water, if we did. I don't want to go there. Whatever it is that's in your way, it ain't worth it. Thank you so much for being with us. Please share this video with everybody. I mean, the people who agree with you politically, the people who don't agree with you politically, it doesn't matter anymore. We need to come together. One people, one world, sharing the common destiny. Maybe this is the thing that is going to bring the world together. I hope so. Yes. Love you.
Yes. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.